Hi student, this is Tanmay Mojumdar. As you know, the Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University has declared to remain closed the all colleges. So our college has decided to take class from home through online. Okay, so today I will going to discuss the most important chapters of biostatistics, that is correlations and regressions. Okay, so first you should know what is correlation. Correlations is actually denotes the degree of associations between two variables. Suppose we have two variables, one is x, another is y. If y tends to increase as age increases, the variables are said to be positively correlated. If y tends to decrease as x increases, the variables are negatively correlated. And if the value of y are not affected by changes in the value of x's, then the variables are said to be uncorrelated or indifferent. Now here we have assumed two variables, one is x, another is y. X is denoting the height of a student and y is denoting the weight of a student. Now we want to make a relationship between the two variable height and weight of a group of students. Okay, so now if we are denoting this relationship with the help of scatter diagram, then we will get the relationship between x and y may be positive, maybe negative, or maybe indifferent. Okay, now see this diagram. First see this diagram. Okay, here we have seen the positive relationship between x and y. How? X is along with horizontal axis and y is along with vertical axis. When the x is increased by 1 unit, y is also increased the same 1 unit. When x is again increased by 1 unit, 1 to 2, it is shown that the y is also increased from 1 to 2. Such a way it is increasing, and the value of correlationship between x and y is positive, means it is always plus 1. Okay, the same way when we have seen the next diagram, the relationship between x and y, x is along with horizontal axis, y is along with vertical axis. So when x is increased by 1 unit, at that time y is 4. So the meeting point or the intersection point we have seen here, it is this point. Okay, when x is increased 1 to 2 units, we have seen y is fallen down or it is decreasing by 1 unit, 4 to 3. Same way when x is again increased by 1 unit, y is also decreased by 1 unit. Again x is increased by 1 unit, y is also decreased by 1 unit, and all the intersection point we have seen here. Intersection point is this. So all the intersection points, means after adding the all intersection point, we have got the straight line, and this straight line is actually showing the value of correlationship between x and y is negative. Negative means it's a minus 1. Okay, now sometimes it may happen there is a no relationship between x and y. So why? Because from this diagram we have seen there is a lot of point, so that there is a no relationship between the two variables. Why? Because we never get the 2 points which are basically intersect with each other. Okay, and we never get any particular straight line or any particular graph we never drawn by this point. Okay, so here we can say the relationship between x and y is indifferent or uncorrelated. So the value of r will be at the time 0. It's maybe happen sometimes the value of correlations and regressions between x and y, sometimes the picture or the scatter diagrams is like this. Okay, it is, we never draw any particular diagram through this point, so the value of correlations and regressions will be 0. Okay, same this diagram and this diagram, the results of correlations will be same, the outcome of the correlations will be 0. Okay, now come to this diagram. Okay, here we have seen the relationship between an x and y is actually indicating the different point, the tendencies of increasing x and y is positive. Okay, but not like this, not like +1. Okay, so we can say it is near equal to +1 or tends to +1. So here the value of correlationship between x and y is always positive, but not exactly +1. Okay, it tends to +1. The same way, also we have seen a lot of dotted point. So the tendencies is actually shows that if x is increasing, then y will be decreased. Okay, so from this diagram we can say the value of correlation is negative, but not exactly -1. It tends to -1. Okay, got my point? Okay, so from this scattered diagram we can make a relationship between two variables x and y. X is actually a height of a student and y is also weight of a student, and we basically make a relationship between the two variables x and y through the help of scatter diagram. So a scatter diagram indicates the nature of associations between two variables, variable x and variable y. The types of correlations between them, if the pattern of points or the dotted line on the scatter diagram shows the linear path diagonally across the graph paper from the bottom left corner to the top of the right corner. Okay, then we can say the correlations will be positive. Correlations is positive. Okay, from the bottom left hand corner to the top of right corner, if any particular line if we will draw, then the relationship between x and y is positive. Okay, in other words, you can say the association between the variables is direct. On the other hand, if the pattern of dots be such as to indicate the straight line path from the upper left hand corner to the bottom right corner, upper left hand corner to the bottom right corner, correlations is negative. Okay, this is negative. Okay, in other words, you can say the degree of associations between two variables is indirect. Okay, degree of associations between two variables, variable x and y, is indirect. Okay, and last one, when the dots do not indicate any straight line tendencies, the dots do not indicate any straight line tendencies. Okay, so you can say the straight line tendencies is not noticed, and the correlations between x and y is 0. So the degree of associations between two variables x and y is 0. Okay, as there is no relationship between two variables. Okay, that's it.